Oh hey, welcome back to the channel. Jeremy here from Long Speed Marine. Today we're carrying on with our progress to get to the Power Tour, 2023 Power Tour, and I'm going to be working on getting a Tach in this dash. So tag along and let's see how we make out. All right, so we're carrying on here with our 1970 Buick Skylark, getting it ready for Hot Rod Power Tour. So the next step that I'm doing on this car is going to be putting a Tach in the dash here so I can get the dash mounted back in, get the wires all hooked up to this, get the steering column back up in place, so then this basically should be a runner. I should be able to just turn the key, fire it up, and go. So this is what we're going to be working on today, is the dash and getting our Tach put in there, and just going to be playing around with this. Man, this still smells like mouse. I don't know if I'm ever going to get rid of that. Okay, so here we are with our dash. So what the plan is, I've got this autometer, auto gauge, inexpensive Tach to basically go in this hole here because I don't want to mount it up on the dash somewhere, and I've got the provision to put it. The factory Tach for one of these is really expensive, and I can't afford it. So that's why I was going with this option. So what I'm going to do is take the factory, blank out plate and just basically cut around this blank out plate so that the Tach will fit in there nicely, because the bezel will fit and just sit right in there. So this will hold the gauge in nicely and should work well for us. So I'm going to get this part cut out, get the Tach put in there. Then I've got to get a couple more accessories. I got to clean this switch up to get it back in for my wiper switch. I've got to figure out what I'm doing with these heater controls because they were originally wood grain. So I have to clean up or figure out what I'm going to do here because obviously my control decals are gone. And put my wiper switch back in, put my cigarette lighter in, and then get this thing put back in the car. So let's get to that. Okay, so because this is such thin plastic, I can't really clamp this into anything. There's not really a straight edge to get it clamped in either. So I'm just gonna try and hold on to this best I can. I've got my drill spinning as slow as it possibly can, my drill press, and pull this up into it. Now, some people may be saying, oh, why aren't you wearing gloves? Well, actually, as a safety feature, I'm not wearing gloves because should the glove happen to get caught in this, it can do some damage to your hand where if I touch the edge of this, I'm gonna know and I'm just gonna let go immediately. So this is what we're gonna try doing, and wish me luck. All right, well that worked pretty good, other than of course catching myself, but I'm all right. Okay, I'm just gonna clean this edge up here and get that gauge slid in. Okay, so I've got that piece sanded down now, cleaned up. roughly, so I'll get this mounted into the dash. So, like this? No, this. That's on. Okay, get that gauge slid in. Tight. Shape her up. There we go. Beauties. All right, factory-like. Well, not quite, but it'll definitely do. It's at least not mounted on the dash somewhere, the steering column, whatnot. It's in the gauges. You won't really notice walking by at a car show, whatever, and it'll look nice for the driver of the car. So now we're going to get the rest of our accessories put back into this dash panel, get it in the car, and see how it looks in there. All right, well, there's the gauge panel back in, the gauge cluster. I put the dash on just for the full effect of what's going on here. But there we go. So gauge cluster is back in. It will have to come out just one more time. I've just got to figure out my dash lights aren't working, but that's okay. So now at least the column's back in. I can start the car from the key and yeah, starting to come back together. All right, well, that's going to do it for this one. On the next video, I will be working on the brakes. I'll get those pulled apart, see what parts we need on that, and then maybe start in on doing some of the drivetrain stuff that I need to button up on this car. But for now, that's great. The dash is in, the steering column's back in, everything's wired up, and I can turn the key and start it at any time. That's awesome. So make sure you hit that subscribe, smash the like, follow along with all my builds, follow along with this one. I can't wait to get to Power Tour. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you're going. And thanks very much. I so appreciate the support. Man, I gotta start this thing again.